Hello, my name is Elisa Rodriguez. I am a third year and a psychology major.
Hi, my name is Isabella Caballero. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I'm a third year public health major with a psychology minor.
We are from the care office and a part of the prevention team here on campus. Today we will be presenting to you a couple of myths and truths on male survivors, as well as how we as a community can empower men and boys who have been abused to feel that they are in a safe community where there will be no judgments or looks of disbelief when telling their story. We will also like to make it aware that there will be some tough topics being spoken about, and if you feel that if in any moment you need to make a brief pause from the presentation, please do. Your mental health is important to us.
When thinking of the word survivor, lots of things come to mind. When I asked just my family what they thought of when they hear the word survivor, they gave me answers like woman, battle or fight, being brave, and overcoming a challenge. I thought it was interesting that no one really thought of males, and that's part of the problem. Men's experiences of sexual abuse are often seen as less valid than females. We're here to explain some myths and truths of male survivors.
One of the first myths that come into the mind of many people is that boys and men cannot be sexually abused. For years, it has been enforced in our mind that boys grow up as masculine individuals who can defend themselves under an attack. It has never been talked or even thought about how boys or men can become the victim in a sexual or domestic abuse scenario. But it has been found that in 1 in 6 men in the US have experienced sexual abuse or assault. There was this 5-minute video on YouTube called Survivors of Sexual Abuse and Assault Reveal an Important Truth, where 5 women read different stories on individuals who went through abuse or assault either at an early age or as adults. What the readers do not know is that these stories are on male individuals and are in shock when they find out at the end. But the readers don't let that change their opinions. They still go up to the male survivors and make them aware that what happened to them wasn't their fault and that they should not feel ashamed about sharing their story.
Another myth is that only gay men are sexually abused. The truth is that men of all sexual orientations can experience sexual assault, and their sexual orientation has nothing to do with being assaulted. Sexual orientation cannot cause or encourage sexual abuse whatsoever. It's also important to note that perpetrators of sexual assault can be any gender identity, sexual orientation, or age, and they can have any relationship to the victim. Like all perpetrators, they might use physical force or psychological and emotional coercion tactics in order to assault their victims. When looking at a popular show like Criminal Minds, one of the characters, Derek Morgan, a cis male, was sexually abused as a child, and his sexual orientation had nothing to do with his sexual assault, but everything to do with the sexual abuser taking advantage of a child.
Another myth that has been tossed around is that it was his fault or but he wanted it. Abusers tend to use the male's body reaction as a way to defend their act upon the victim, but in reality that is just a form of manipulation. The male body doesn't know that it is going through a sexual abuse or assault. It is just naturally reacting when experiencing a sexual act. But abusers tend to manipulate the individual in believing that they need this, that they are getting the attention they are being neglected at home, and that this form of affection is good. But those are not valuable excuses to abuse a male who they felt safe around. No boy or man asked to be sexually exploited just to fulfill the sexual needs of the other person.
Another common myth is that males getting sexually abused by a female are lucky. You hear things like, wow, she's so hot, you'd be lucky to have sex with her, or wow, I wish she sexually assaulted me. The truth is that females can abuse men, and it's definitely not okay, and it's definitely not lucky. In the episode of South Park listed below, it is shown a child reported sexual abuse of a male student done by an attractive female teacher, and the police making a mockery of the incident instead of taking it as a serious issue.
Our main goal of this presentation is to demonstrate to everyone that there is no gender limit or definition for when it comes to identifying a victim. A victim is anyone who went through any form of abuse or assault. And today in our world, we are getting closer to grasping that view, but still need to work harder on making all genders, as well as others who identify as another sex, to feel that they can go to someone or somewhere to talk about what happened to them without being judged. It is also important to make the person aware that their sexual abuse or assault does not identify them. It just helps them get up every day knowing that they did not let the abuse take over their life completely, and that they will fight for more male individuals like themselves. I would like to end with this quote from a TED Talk called Men Need to Talk About Their Sexual Abuse. I see in my own experience a reflection of a greater issue in our society: narratives, broad, sweeping narratives, replacing our individual stories, replacing our identities. There's a pressure to accept what our community says what is true about us, the family we come from, the place where we grow up. When we give in to these pressures, we lose the ability to share our own story. And we give in to it because we don't know how to share our own story, said by Seth Shelley. So instead of assuming that you know a person based on what you have heard from others, you should be asking the individual, what is your story?
Lastly, we want to remind you that in case of any issues or you need to speak to someone, you can call and text the campus advocate, and you can call the Valley Crisis Center 24-hour hotline at numbers listed here. If it is a life-threatening emergency, then please call 911 or the campus police department. For any information on the CARE office and you want to reach out to us, you can email us at ucmcare@ucmerced.edu. You can also follow our social media pages on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you are interested in getting more information from 1 in 6, you may go to the website onein6.org, or if you are interested in viewing the videos we have talked about in our presentation today, you can find the links in the information description of this video right below. Thank you, and remember, keep calm, wash your hands, and stay safe.